All right, we are in the Knockout 9-hole Cup, and we are in Wednesday's qualifying round in the rookie division. I probably will not get an opportunity to play at all tomorrow because I'm going to be traveling tomorrow, so I better get it done today unless I get up super early in the morning. We'll see, but I'm going to go out and attempt to qualify right now. That's where we're at. That is where we are. Here we go. Hole number uno. Hole number one. What is hole number one? All right. My goal is to go this direction. And I think if you bring out, my notes say to bring out a Power 5 ball and you can get over to this side. Now that's if you got a side wind or a tailwind. I'm not sure on a headwind day what it looks like. We'll see. And my notes say 2 to 3 topspin. Plus 10 on the drive. So let me get my calculator. Let me get my calculator going here. Get all of the important stuff. Maybe. I should probably plug all my devices in right now. My tablet has full charge. Calculator going. All right, here we go. Let's see, I got my number 1 bag, and I'm gonna take a Berserker. Wind's going with us. Plus 10 on the drive, 1.1 times the wind divided by 1.2. And my notes say 2 to 3 topspin. I hope that's the right. I haven't played. I went out there and I shot a couple other shots on this just to see, kind of have a backup plan. But we got the right wind. We're in the tournament now, so I'm willing to burn a big ball. That's the thing about playing. If you're playing in higher divisions, if you're playing in pro, expert, masters, every time you practice, you gotta play with the stuff that you're gonna play. There is no going out there and checking it out with lower stuff. If you're gonna play with a Power 5 ball, 10 topspin, boost, 6 side spin, you gotta play every round with that. Now that ball with the wind might have actually got him over there. Now there is a way to go that way. I did one shot where I just laid it up with my big topper. Instead of trying to bring out a big ball, I hit from over here with a big topper and I laid it up right here. It's not a bad deal. I didn't see what kind of topspin they put on there. They got 3, they got 2 and a little. I think that's about right. If you're looking at the picture of this hole, it looks like on the other side of that last mound that it's sand, but it's actually rocks. Perfect. Bounce, 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 hit the rocks, roll down. Perfecto. Perfecto. Excellent. Okay, so we're hitting to there. I'm gonna go like 2. I'll do the 2.5 as well, like 2 and a little. See what that looks like. Let's get down here where we can actually see it. 3.1, 2.84 rings. There's 284. Let's see if we can hit perfect. I haven't taken a shot in a day. Probably been good to do some warm-up. That might be the only perfect shot I hit all day. Should have put a little curl on there so that I got lucky. I bled out. I was thinking I had set the shot up so I could do not a whole lot of curl, but a little teeny bit of right hand curl so that it would bleed out, and I got lucky. I got lucky. Lucky. All right, we started it off good. I'm pretty sure that when you look at in the final round, you look at the people that are in the top 10, it's probably going to be dominated by people who got an eagle on this hole. So you're going to have to get an eagle on this hole. Now, there are lots of other holes for us to pick up shots on, so it's not like it's an absolute, like if you don't do it, you can't win. But this is definitely some low-hanging fruit that we really, really, really want to pick up. In the hold. Perfecto. Perfecto. Eagle. Woo! Can't get too excited though. We got to get that one. Let me go real quick before I forget here. Before I forget, let me take that tee off so that I'm not getting that. Let's put none on. Let's go here and put none on. All right. Now we are ready to roll. And one other thing I want to talk about on that hole before we move on is if you don't have bigger hitting clubs, you can come out here with a power 3 ball. And depending on what level your big topper is, you may have to bring out just a little bit bigger ball. But you can run your topspin and end up out in this area and have a short little chip, and that's not a bad shot. And I would rather take the lower shot than the upper. Now, if you practice this, you'll be able to figure out what the variable is that we need to do on the wind. But I think this one down here is going to be pretty close to your club divided, the wind divided by wherever you're at in your club. So this shot should be a little bit easier getting down there. It's going to be a little tougher getting down here than possibly getting up here, but I think the lower is definitely better. All right, hole number 2. Hole number 2. Hold on one second. All right, I'm back. Hole number 2. Hole number 2. What is hole number 2? My notes say, I have no clue. I know that I came out here and did some practice, and if you come out here with a Goliath, there is a rough bump that you can do with the Goliath. I was taking a shot, because your red line, if you bring out, now with the Goliath, you probably don't have to bring out a 3-power ball, but I was bringing out a 3-power ball and hitting with my Grizzly from back here, so I was at max Grizzly. And we shall see. I almost feel like doing the rough bump. I'm just curious to whether or not if you brought a big enough sidespin ball you could hit in this rough area. This rough area is much more appealing to me than this little G string, but we shall see. Let me see which way the wind's blowing. Which way is the wind blowing? That wind, I'm going to take the Grizzly shot that I have notes for, and then we will see. It doesn't look like I need a lot of side spin, so I'm going to take a Titan, the king of balls, and a Grizzly. But let's make sure I got a bag with a Goliath. I could. Let's make sure I got my Katana tags on, because I may be able to do that. So here we go. Here we go. Here we go. My notes also say that if I'm at max club, I'm hitting it at 0.9 per ring, and I'm doing a 50% wind adjustment. I have no idea whether that's right, but I'm going to do what my notes say. Times the wind divided by 0.9. Here we go. Here we go. I know that there was a lot of these holes here when I was going through and watching. We played the Haunted Mansion, and I was actually playing with Dunner, and Dunner and I were able to hook up on just about every hole. Not quite every hole, but we were doing huge wind adjustments, and there's not really that much of a change. Like when you want to use the word elevation, because elevation really is a real word. So the variables here are really high. Let's see. Shot, and Dale Appleby gave me a message, left me a comment that it's Chateau Lavande, that the E at the end is not part of the deal. Backbone. The backbone. Perfect. Perfecto. Let's see what we can get done. Let's see if we can get this to get anywhere close to the hole. Where's the red line? There's the red line. I'm at the +2 mark. 3 rings off. Hey, get where I want you. That is not where I want you, but that's where you're at. What is the wind? 3? That's 5 rings exactly. See how it's moving around there? It's almost like a little 5 rings. I'm going to start on the white ring on the inside. There's 5 rings. Oh, 1 ring great to the right. And that's one of those areas that you could see how when I was moving the bullseye, and as I was moving the bullseye, how my tail was wagging. And so that might be one of those areas that you hit a great and you could be way off. And it could also be one of those areas where you hit it great on the left or on the right and it ends up going to the left, and you hit it great to the left and it ends up going to the right. So we learned nothing there because I didn't hit that perfect. I should actually, I may tomorrow or on Saturday's round go out when we got the right kind of wind and go practice that hole and see what the deal is with the Goliath. That wind right there would have worked good for that rough bump, because you wouldn't have to pull over the sand. But if you're doing a 50%, the way that rough is running there, let's go look at that picture. The way the rough is running here, wind was going like this. If you're set up in this area and you do a 50% and you overpull it, you're definitely going to hit right there, and you're going to have to run all your topspin in order to get to the hole. So it's one of those things you definitely want to practice if you're going to make that big of a wind adjustment on that kind of wind. If the wind was blowing like this and you overpull it, you know, you might still be okay. If you could get all the way up here to the tip and the wind was blowing like this, you might be able to be okay. But any other wind where you're having to pull over the sand or into the fairway, if that wind adjustment is wrong, you're in trouble. All right, back to the drawing board. You gotta hit perfect, and that's the whole deal. You gotta hit perfect. This is another hole that I'm trying to get out into this area and drive out to here, and if I can get out to there, I'm doing +10 to the cup, and it should be in mid-thorn or mid-short iron, whatever short iron you're using, and my mid-thorn is 2.3 per ring, so we'll see. And I have no notes as far as doing any extra pull on the drive, so I know the one thing I want to do on the drive is if you draw the line from the tee box and come through here, I really would rather be on this side because you don't have to go quite as far to get out of the rough, but we'll see how that we'll see how it pans out. We shall see. And my notes say Berserker. Berserker. Here we go. Berserker, select it. That bag. Off to the races. It's whatever the wind is divided by 1.2 per ring, and with my APOC. Somebody had mentioned, like, when you start to get to the point where your extra mile becomes obsolete, talking about like an APOC 6. The extra mile still has more topspin than the APOC 6, so then it comes, there's times when the curl is more important and the rod distance is more important, and there's times when the topspin is really the kicker. So you really kind of got to play that by the hole. Let's see what kind of distance I got out here. I don't want to roll out too much and end up caught in that rough over there, so it's 3.4. It's 2.83 rings. There's 1, 2. Oh, I don't want to do that. I'm going to just stay right there. I don't want to have to account for that going over the lip. And that is going to be big trouble. Big trouble. I told you I wanted to hit more to the right and not to the left because you got to go farther. We'll see if I can make it out. There we go. Perfect. Perfecto. There's some shots that you need the raw distance just to get to a spot, and there's some shots that you need topspin. Yeah, it doesn't matter if you start off here or if you start off 4 yards further forward, you're still trying to run the ball down the fairway. But there's some spots like this where having an extra little bit of raw distance to get you into the fairway is the key. So when you get an APOC 6, it really can kind of depend on the hole. There's some holes you need a lot more curl, so the APOC is going to be better because you need more curl. But when you get to APOC 7, it pretty much takes it takes over. I actually really never thought I'd have an APOC 7 or get to that point, because it took me I started playing when the game first came out, and it took me 2 years before I got an APOC, and the only reason that I have an APOC at this point, at this level, is there's max, there's min, so I am at mid, is because of the club card trading. So it is 1.1 times 5 divided by 2.3. It's 2.39 rings, 2.4 rings. .4 rings. There's 1, 2, 4. Isn't it perfect? Get in the hole. Get in. Get in the hole. Nah, it's gonna mess. Overpulled it? I did overpull it. But that wasn't a 10% overpull, I don't think. Let's think about that. I need a pencil. What did everybody do with my pencil? It couldn't have been me losing my pencil. It had to be you hiding my pencil. Yeah, I got that APOC, and by the time I finally got an APOC, I played for over 2 years, and I didn't have an APOC, and I didn't have a Thor's Hammer, and I didn't have a Cataclysm. And I had opened up thousands of Tour 7 chests and didn't get those clubs. And then I got all of them within like a week of each other. And I just assumed at that point that by that point the rest of my clubs were so far advanced over them that it was like, you know, it'll be years before they become usable. And then right after that is when they started doing the club card trading. And so almost not every card on my APOC is from the club card trading, but the mass majority are from the club card trading. And if it hadn't been for that, I'd still have like a level 3 or 4. It's funny what clubs you get when you start getting up into Tour 7, where you can get access to every club in the game. The very first Tour 7 chest that I opened had a Spitfire in it. And I got Spitfires pretty quick until I got to like level 4 or 5, and then it just slowed down. My buddy Scooby, the very first Tour 7 chest he ever opened had an APOC in it, and he got his APOC up pretty quick. Here we go. Play hole number 4. Hole number 4. What is hole number 4? Kind of bummed out on that. Hold on one second. Let me find a pencil. All right. I guess my boss stole my pencil. What do we got here? I was shooting from right in this area. Right in, if I can get my pen to work here, right in this area. I was using a sniper and a nav. And I was playing at max. Even though I'm at minimum club right here, I was playing it at 1-to-1. So I was playing it as if I was max. So it'd be so basically, if you're at minimum club with a sniper, it's 1.2 per ring. So it would be the win divided by 1.2. So I was adding on 20%, and those balance each other out. So it's just the wind. So I'm basically playing it at 1-to-1. Here we go. Sniper and a navigator. The navigator. I have a nav? I do. I do have some navs. Probably should buy some navs just in case. Just in case. Just for safety. Sniper. navigator. 1 to 1. Whatever the wind is, that's how many rings I'm pulling. And on the old system, I was doing 3 1/4 backspin. I go first. I go first. Where's man? There's man. Let's make sure I have enough room to work that wind out. I do. Seemed like it was about 3 1/4. Definitely don't want to run long here. 2.8 rings. There's 1, 2, 8 exactly. Perfect. On the way, get in the hole. Didn't pull it enough. I was adding 10% and it pulled too much, so I went back to just straight up, but I do need to add something onto that. I'm going to put on +5. +5%. All right. All right. I got a game plan. See if my opponent is going to switch balls or if they're going to play this with a berserker. Come on. Yeah, they're switching balls. They have to switch balls. And you're still going to take a kingmaker. All right. So you're not at minimum club. I'm surprised they're still in sniper. Perfect. Perfect with the kingmaker. Their distance was, I think they would have fallen in the cup if their trajectory would have been right. They would have just fallen in, but they were right there. They would have won the shootout. All right. All right. All right. I have no idea what it's going to take as far as like up at the top this week. We have lots of opportunities on this course. We'll see as we go through. I honestly can't remember all the holes. I'm really bad at that. I can play these holes and then 15 minutes from now I couldn't tell you what hole that was. That's one of the par 3s. I have no idea which one. I don't try and fill my mind full of those kind of little details. Hole number 5. Hole number 5. Let's get at it. I'll be happy to get back home. And I got training. I'm leaving here in Arkansas, and going to South Carolina to train for 3 weeks. It was supposed to be 2, now it's 3. I like my studio at my house because I can yell and scream and nobody does anything weird. I'm trying to end up right on this upper lip. I am not trying to get... Now, I think you might be able to get over, but this is uphill from here, and I'm not going to dink around. I'm just trying to get right up here to the top. There's another hole here that's got sand like this that I think you could get through, but here we just really want to be right up at the top. And it is a max OP shot, and I'm only going to do no more than 4 topspin. No more than 4. Which way's the wind blowing? And I'm doing 50% on the drive. 1.5 times the wind divided by 1.2. And no more than 4. And I'm taking a kingmaker. Kingmaker. And I'm only taking I think you can do this with a Titan. Let's do it with a Titan. I don't think it's going to make... I think on the drive it's not going to make that big of a difference. And the second shot, it's not going to make any difference at all. Alright, I'm ready. Here we roll. No more than 4 topspin. I played this the other day and I did the 4 top spin with the tailwind, and it was close. It was still on the top where I want to be, and it was close. I would definitely not do any more than that. Now, depending on what your club you have, if you come out here with an extra mile, you could do a little bit more because it hits just a little bit further back. No more than 4. I'm going to do a sliver less than 4. I want to start off right there, and it's 2.9. It's 3.62 rings. There's 1, 2, 3, 6, 2. And then I'm going to put about that much curl on it. And hit it perfect. Excellent. Now I could have put a little teeny bit more on there because I do have some room in front of me, but I would rather be right there every single time than in the rough or the sand even once. You got a great opportunity from here. I was aiming towards this right here with the side spin, and I was trying to think of my ball guide terminating down here right in that corner, because I knew your ball guide doesn't know you're going to put curl on the shot. And I knew I was going to put curl on the shot, and I wanted to put enough curl that if I hit a 1 ring, even a 2 ring great to the right, I'd still have enough room over there to clear it. Perfect. Okay, what am I doing to the cup? Minus 20.8 times the wind. Let's see where I'm at. There's man. There's max. There's min. I'm at min club. Pretty close to min. 3.3 divided by 3.5 plus 0.1, so it's like 0.9 of a ring. Just a titch of topspin. Just a titch, just a titch. 0.9 of a ring. Man, that's a big pull, isn't it? Hitting it perfect. Oh, I got robbed right there. I got robbed. Robbed. I'll have to go back and see on that. The plus 0.1 killed me. I did the 0.8 the other day, and it was just like right off. I can't remember what wind direction it was, but I needed to do like plus 0.1. I had the same thing happen where I swirled the cup, and if I had just pulled it just a titch more, I would have been in. And there I pulled it. I think I'll have to go back. That's the whole thing why it's so important to record your own video, because you're taking the shot and you don't know. Now you can go back and watch your replay, but it's not nearly as good as having your own video. Couple close misses so far. I can live with that. Got to save some of the stuff for the weekend round, otherwise what are we gonna do? What would we do with ourselves? Hole number 6. Hole number 6. All right. This shot, I'm leaving it right here and then sniper to the cup. Now, I took this shot the other day, and I was doing like minimum snipers right here, and I was taking the shot from right here. But I think I would rather, because you got to put the spin that you got to put on it in order to get to the cup in the area that you're running through here. I think I would rather just be in front and try and go straight at it. Now I'll have to look at my red line, because my notes say I could use a Kingmaker here. Is this hole? Yeah, Kingmaker, and I'm pulling back to the plus 10 mark. So I could get to the same exact spot out here with a katana, and it would push my red line back. So instead of being right at minimum club, it would push my red line back a little bit, and then if I was in front right here, it might be like dead center mid. And so I'll have to keep an eye on that today, because I may change my notes. And I think what happened to me out here was I was trying to find the spot, and I didn't leave myself enough room. So I set the shot up, and then I went to pull the wind out, and I didn't have enough room to pull the wind out because I forgot to push myself forward a little bit. we'll see. We'll see what the deal is. I'll take it with it. I did not write down what kind of spin I need, so I probably should stick with the Kingmaker, just in case I need some side spin on the other side. Although I'm going to see if I can set it up where I go straight at the cup. All right, here we go. Here we go. Now I could try and push that up, and really, I don't know that I'm getting all the way to the end of that fairway, so we'll have to see. We'll see. We'll see. And I know I have it written down here that I was using an extra mile on this at the plus 10 mark, so with my A pocket hits a little bit farther forward, we'll have to see what the deal is. I'm not sure. You can see like different spots out here. You're going to get a different launch coming back. I was pulling back to the plus 10 mark. I'm going to do 2 rings. 2 rings is 2-4, so if I do a little less than 2. Because I could get myself up there and get into long iron range instead of just laying it up like that. That's definitely a layup. And there is definitely lots of room in front of me. I'm not so sure if I didn't bring out a really big ball, I might not be able to get over the lip and get onto the little, no, I don't know. That's at the very end of your run, trying to get to the little spot down there. I'm sure you can do it. I'm sure there's people that are doing it. Especially with a tailwind where you can really get as much loft as you can to try and get to the little fairway down there and not get in the rough. But you're at the very end of your run. You have to have everything go your way and you're trying to get onto a little pad. I have no notes for what to do. I do 50% to the cup, 1.5 times whatever the wind is, divided by wherever I'm at in my club. .376. We are right in the same spot. Okay, there's Min. There's Max. So I'm at mid club. That's excellent. I like that even better. It's 1 per ring. 1.1 per ring, excuse me. 3 divided by 1.1 is 4.1 rings. It's 4.09, but who's counting? 4.1. Hitting it perfect. Perfecto. Just a bit outside. Plus 50, plus 0.1 maybe? At least on that shot I needed to do 50 plus 0.1. I'll have to go back and look at that because there was a break right at the very end where it was coming to the cup and it was breaking to the cup. See if my opponent can get where they want. Perfect. The deal is that you can get up there putting curl on it like that, but the whole thing about curl is that it's super hard to replicate. I mean, if they'd have made that, that'd be great, but the next time they get on this hole to try and do exactly the same thing would be, it's super tough. In the hole, eagle. All right, all right, all right. Back to the drawing board. I like the fact that I'm close. This is the thing about these 9-hole cups is usually it takes me a couple rounds before I get it all put together. I try and, you know, you want to get it all together and then peak in the weekend round. And here you gotta peak quick. I think I have it in me. Maybe. . Hole number 7. And this is our last par 3. Alright, this hole I am definitely doing a rough bump. Which way is the wind blowing? And I'm just bringing a sniper and a navigator 1-to-1. And I almost think you do need to push forward like a quarter of a ring. But I've taken this shot several times at 1-to-1, and I've made some hole-in-ones here, so let's see what I have for 1 power balls. I think that navigator is going to be the best that I got. Let's pick it first. And it is a sniper, and we're looking for power 1 balls, or power 2 now that they've changed the deal. I don't need any side spin. And this has got 4. I got 1 of these balls. I could switch to that ball if the wind was so high that I have to pull over the sand. I think the area down there is actually pretty nice. I'm doing 1-to-1. All right, here we go. I could switch to that feather ball or whatever that ball is if the wind's going to make me have to pull too far over the sand. We'll see if I can get on or if I have to restart the game. Maybe. Strike 4-2. The Gamblers. Chateau Lavande. Strike 4 goes first. And they're in their Grizzly. With a nav. The sniper's at like mid club, and I was adding on, I'm basically adding on 10%. So it's at mid club, which would be 1.1. You're adding on 10%, 1.1 times the wind divided by 1.1. So those balance each other out. So it's just 1-to-1. Here we go. Here we go. Terminate right at the cup. 3.9 rings. There's 3. 9. Let's hit a perfect. Oh man, that was so far off of perfect it wasn't even funny. That was 2 rings great. That was way great. That was definitely one of those times I should have let it go by a few more times to release it instead of trying to snap it off. I wasn't quite ready. My muscle memory was like, my eyes were telling me one thing and my hand was like, hey dude, we're letting that go. One of my viewers was talking about they're using a stylus and it's sticking. You got to make sure if you're using a stylus, when you go to the store and you go to buy a stylus, all of the stylus are rubber tipped. Like you go into any store, you go to Best Buy, you go to whatever electronic store that you have around, they're all rubber tipped. And what you want to get if you're going to use a stylus, and they will not sell them in the stores, but you want to get a carbon fiber tipped stylus. Hold on one second, I'll show you. Hold on. As an example, not necessarily this one, but like these are carbon fiber tip styluses, and you can screw off the tips and replace the tips, and they usually come with extra tips, and the tips last for a long time. They will eventually get worn out and you can just easily replace them, but the carbon fiber tipped ones, and they come in different lengths, and I think the one I have is like a 5.5 inch. They come in longer ones. The longer ones aren't that bad, but I like and they come in short. So they're like 4 inch, 5 inch ones, but I'm pretty sure that I'm doing let's see what length these are. Are they doing that? Do they tell us what their lengths are? And I just hate these pages where they're like, we do a billion. We want to tell you everything about every other product out there instead of just doing the one that we're looking at. It would really be nice. Really be nice. These are 5.79 inches. Very nice. Very nice. That's the type. If you've got these carbon fiber ones, they slide on the screen. There's no sticking. The rubber ones will stick. You almost have to put baby powder on them. But these carbon fiber ones are absolutely made for this stuff, and they will just slide right across the screen. No sticking whatsoever. All right, next hole. Next hole, hole number 8. I do not like touching my finger on the screen. Not that I have some touch thing, but when you're playing these games and you're doing it, your finger gets sore, your finger gets tired, and one of the cool things about human beings is we're tool users, and I want to use a tool. I'm trying to go right here and take that shot. Now, this is the hole I was talking about where I'm not so sure that you couldn't try and get your bounces right so that you can, because this area right here is like this. You're up here on the top and then it comes down onto the green, and those sand traps are like in here. And so if you're carrying enough speed, the way the sand traps are, you could bounce out of the sand trap, but you might be able to bounce over the sand trap and get on the green side. I'm pretty sure you can. I'm pretty sure somebody out there has that shot. I'm pretty sure. What do I have? I've got an APOC and a Kingmaker, and I'm doing 4 topspin on a max OP, or I could try and bump it over. We could try and get on in one. That's the deal. We could. I could try it just to see what it looks like, but I think the deal down there is that sometimes you might make it and sometimes you might not, because you're at the very end of your run and everything's got to go your way. I'm going to play this with a Kingmaker. Card breaker. A Kingmaker. We're going to take that right there and we're going to go for it. Let's see if we can make one of these shots. I'm either I haven't hit perfect or my adjustment's been just like 0.1 off one way or the other. It's been close. I'm happy with the way the round's going. I mean, I'm learning some stuff, having fun. Haven't made a lot of shots, but I haven't dropped any yet. So we got that going for us. I wonder if my opponent knows they can push it forward and get into their driver. There you go. There you go. I've seen it doesn't do that on every hole. Like a lot of holes, it puts you in your drive and you're out there, but like a hole like this, it's putting you in your what, short iron or long iron. And I've seen people go out there and take it with their long iron. It's like, you can push that forward and get in a driver. It's okay. You can do it. Nice. Very nice. I think you can go for this. Is that right? I think you can. I think you can. I think you can. What was I taking? I was taking a power 3 ball. No more than 4 topspin. 4 topspin. Two point two divided by 1.2, about 183. I'm going to do 2. One ring grate to the right. It's probably going to go too far. Whoa down, Cat Daddy. Whoa down. There you go. And my notes say plus 40 to the cup. 1.4 times the wind. I'm not so sure that I don't need to get that far, because I was taking the shot right here trying to do a rough bump with my rapier, and I didn't have enough topspin to get there, and I'm super close, and it has 100 topspin. But my opponent was a little bit farther back and was right here and was able to get a rough bump with their Grizzly, and I kind of like the Grizzly shot a little bit better. All right, here we go. Let's see what we can get done here. Where are we? It's got to be like mid wedge. There's max, there's mid, so I'm in mid wedge. I don't like that appearing and disappearing shit. Definitely not enough topspin to get me up there. I don't like that at all. I don't like it. .6 divided by 2.3. It's 2.2 rings. That is way down the hill. Isn't it perfect? And I will tell you, I could probably take that shot 1,000 times, and you're so far down there you can barely even see the ring sets. So I mean, I don't know if I have no idea. I mean, that's it. My opponent must be doing something. Let's shut them down for a second. I want to be able to focus on this long putt. They got 2 practice days. No, that's the whole deal. They're out practicing. They're out playing, just having some fun. I don't blame them. I would be out practicing today too, trying to work my notes, but I probably will not be able to play tomorrow. So if I don't get something in today, I won't be able to play it all this weekend. Hole number 9. What is hole number 9? What is hole number 9? Where was I going here? I was going out into this area right here and taking this shot to the cup. And to get that miraculous stuff done, I was bringing and I'm not so sure here that if you get it at the right angle, there is a rough bump. I think I was actually trying to hit it so far forward that it kind of took the rough bump out of play. But this picture is not really, I think where I'm ending up, there still is a rough bump out there. But I'm in my Grizzly, and the Grizzly doesn't have enough topspin to get me there. So if you play with a Goliath on a regular basis, I'm 100% confident that there's a rough bump that you could do here. Sure, for sure, for sure. And if I bring the Kingmaker, I will definitely have to go straight out at their angle, or the Titan. I will definitely have to go straight out it. There's not going to be any trying to bring it around to do a rough bump. Whatever the wind is divided by 1.2. I don't have any notes for doing anything special on the drive. That's not to say that we shouldn't be doing something special on the drive. I just don't have anything on my notes for it. Now, if you think about your rock hits about, like a rock level 9 is 230, I think, 232, 230. So if you got a big topper, it's at like what, 224. You'd be back from that just a little bit, but it has 100 topspin. Wouldn't be a bad club to take out. And they just got a 3 power ball. That's one of the World Cup balls. That's actually the Wales one. When those World Cup balls came out, I didn't buy any of the US ones. I bought Wales and Brazil because I like the look. We're gonna do max. Put it all on there. Putting it all on. Right there, right there. I'm gonna go a little bit more in the middle just so I don't take any chances. 3, 2.5 rings. And I think there's enough room out there. You could put that wind back on. Perfecto. Perfecto. Boom. Just running it. Yeah, there's lots of room. You could probably do overpower and still end up in it. Plus 45 to the cup times the wind divided by wherever I'm at in my club, and I should be in like max Grizzly, which is a 0.9 per ring. And this is one of those days that if I hit it perfect, you got a great chance because the wind's going to be going almost due. They're back just a little bit from me, so they've got a little teeny bit of side wind on that tailwind, but where I'm at, it's going to be almost due tailwind. Not quite, but pretty close. Let's see what we can get done here. I am at max Grizzly, so 3.7 divided by 0.9 is 5.96 rings, so let's call that an even 6. I'm going to go right to the red line. Let's make sure we're right at max. Let's go right at the flagpole. Hey, there you go. There you go. 6 rings. There's 6 rings. Hitting it perfect. Get in the hole. Let's see if I can make the first and the last hole. Come on, come on, come on. Was that an underpull? And I did 40%, 45. I did 50 the other day and it was too much, just a little too much. I dropped it down to 45, but man, that looks like it might be 50. I might want to circle the 50 again. And I did 0.9 per ring. And I'm not so sure that with a Grizzly at 3 and a 3 power ball that it's not 1 per ring, and I did the 0.9. I'm not going to swear to that, but into hole. Yeah, 1 per ring it would have been 5.36 rings, but at 0.9 it was 5.96, so it was even a bigger pull at the 0.9. All right, there we have it. That should be good enough to qualify, I'm sure. Barely, well, maybe. I don't know if that'll be enough to qualify. Hell, I might have to try and get up early in the morning and play, because I don't think that's going to be enough. I think you'll have to pick up more than just the one. You're going to have to pick up 2, and there's tons of opportunities to pick up shots out there. So it's not like, you know, we only have one hole that we can try and pick up a shot. Pretty much every hole's got an opportunity. So I would think by the weekend round, you know, this has got to be, it's got to be 16. You know, you're going to have to pick up more than 2. We'll have to see as it goes along, but I'm kind of surprised that only 14s are at the top, because there are a lot of opportunities out there to pick up shots. Lots and lots and lots. All right, there you have it. That was my, I'm going to say I had fun, but that was definitely needed to pick up a couple more in order to be where I wanted to be, so I could guarantee myself a qualification. But if I don't qualify today, we'll just count that as a practice round, and we'll see if I'll get up early tomorrow morning and see what we can get done. Thanks for watching. Thanks for being a subscriber. If you're not a subscriber, hit subscribe, hit the like button, ring the bell, leave a comment, all that stuff, and I will see you on the next one. Stay safe and have fun, my friends.